We are 4 days removed from the greatest regular season game in Jacksonville Jaguars history. Hello, everyone. This is episode 85 of Dimes on Duval. He's Skyler Chase. To my right is Mike Yaji, and I am Keith Manzi, bringing you every bit of the action of this 85th episode. So first, obviously, I mentioned the Jags right there at the very beginning. All three of us were at that game. I got to see Skyler in the stands. I got to see Mike pregame at his tailgate. And holy crap, did either of you lose your voice the next day?
A little bit.
I did for sure.
I feel like it's a little raspy.
Mine's still, honestly, a little raspy. Not going to lie. I'm a little worried about that, but it is what it is.
You got any things you got to broadcast here soon?
No, but I am working the rest of this week into the weekend at a grand opening, so it's going to be a lot of talking. So that'll be interesting. And yeah, actually, I do have to record a webinar for work too. Great, just remember that. But anyway, as Mike holds the towel from the game, it was always the Jags, the unofficial, I guess honestly official slogan now that they've got it printed everywhere and they've got a hashtag.
Yeah. IWATJ.
Yeah. What a game.
It rolls off the tongue.
What a game. Mike, for you, what was the best moment of the game?
When the clock hit 0 and we officially won the game.
That's an easy one. I was thinking the same thing. Skyler, any different, or use the same boat?
I guess the 4th and 13. Not quite when it hit 0, but when we stopped them on 4th and 13 to get the ball back to kneel down.
I think I sent you both the same TikTok. Did you guys see it where they interviewed Josh Dobbs?
Oh yeah, I just watched that on the way here.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter, I think, or Instagram. Someone sent it to me. I don't know if it was when you sent it on TikTok or what, but I thought it was absolutely hilarious that Josh Dobbs literally said, "Yeah, if I can go back and take that, it was on me." I mean, he knows it was on him, but geez, that's what happens when you have a terrible quarterback.
Yeah, I mean that exactly. I was gonna say that's what happens when you have a guy who was off the practice squad, on a Lions practice squad a few weeks ago, and not fully prepared for situations like that. He doesn't practice that situation often.
No, but it was very, very funny. I feel for the guy. I mean, they put everything on his shoulders in a game that he wasn't going to win.
That was probably the biggest moment in his football career. I mean, I can't think of any moments at Tennessee that he helped develop Tennessee a little bit, and he may have helped beat Florida that one year, but other than that, I don't think any moment was as big as this moment for him. And
did he win that game in the swamp or in Tennessee?
No, it was in Tennessee. I believe they were wearing smoky gray uniforms.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like those. I mean, looking at the win probability, it was actually pretty funny because it started off super deep into Jags territory, 86% chance to win, whatever. Slowly, as the game progressed, it started to get into that light blue because
that's because that we were playing the Titans game where it was smash mouth football like it was in the 90s, 80s, whatever. We were running. It was run game and defense, and luckily for the Titans, they had a run game. We had no run game against Titans.
30 carries for 109 yards for Derrick Henry, 7 carries for 17 yards for Travis Etienne.
Yeah, it was
not great.
Questionable play calling to keep running the ball, and I get it. Run to set up the pass, blah blah blah.
I think ultimately they felt like they were still confident that even if they went that route, with a balanced offense, they were still going to win. I think obviously if they could have passed every play, but I think they just ultimately wanted to have a balanced game and stay within the game, and then just take advantage of opportunities when they struck. But they tried that pitch opportunity, and that was really dumb.
A little too cutesy.
I think it was last week or the week before, whenever I mentioned on a podcast, I hate pitch plays. For that reason, what happened Saturday night.
Regardless of what that play was supposed to be, well, actually, no. What was that play supposed to be? Was it supposed to be an option?
I think it's just a pitch reverse.
Were they running the option or a pitch reverse? Regardless, Trevor did not pitch that in a way to where it looked like it was supposed to be a reverse.
It's a 6'7" quarterback to a 5'8".
Yeah, but I mean,
receiver.
I feel like in that situation, you should at least still go underhand. He went the flick of the wrist, like he's literally running the option.
Yeah, I mean, all I can say is in those moments when you're more tense, you have more adrenaline, so things kind of come off a little hotter. Like he had a couple overthrows, obviously.
Oh God, yeah, he threw one so hard at I don't know if it was Hasty or Etienne out of the backfield. It went sailing over his head.
Not even that one. The one to Zay Jones in the corner.
Well, yeah, that's the most important one.
And I think those are calculated misses. Like I mentioned, they're trying to just stay within the game and strike when they can. Although that was an opportunity that they just missed. That was just a blown opportunity, and I think at least it wasn't something like it's not a mistake that like bit us. It wasn't a turnover where the pitch was. If we had played safe that whole game, I don't think it would have been as close. I mean, we did play safe the whole game, but we got cute in times when we didn't need to.
Yeah, just ugly.
Going back to what you said, Skyler, about how we don't want to throw the ball a lot. So throughout the whole game, we threw 42 times against the Titans in Week 14, and we ran 17 times with Etienne. Etienne had 17 carries for 32 yards. Yeah, I don't know why we kept trying to run the ball. And even
32 pass attempts in this game for comparison, and of course.
Yeah, but the 32 were much different than the 42.
No, I'm just saying, 10 less and only 10 carries minus Trevor's, listed here, but 10 carries by the running backs.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think the Jags, or at least Trevor, was a little nervous, possibly. It was his first real playoff game, obviously, in the NFL. But I think the defense bailed us out. And I criticized the defense all year, and they bailed us out. But then again, they should have, because it's Josh freaking Dobbs.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tennessee ultimately, they ultimately pretty much did what they wanted to do, minus that interception to Tyson Campbell that gave us 3 points, and then that fumble that gave us a touchdown. Because ultimately they possessed the ball and they kept Trevor off the field more than the other game. That's how you would play a game against Peyton Manning. You would run the ball, just keep the clock going, try to keep it down, keep him off the field. And I mean, we only had 9 plays in the fourth quarter and for -1 yard, and some of those were kneel downs. There's 2 or 3 kneel downs. So six total plays in the fourth quarter. That's just crazy to think about. And that's where we ended up winning, was in the fourth quarter. We still scored 10 points in the fourth quarter because Tyson got that interception, and I think that was right when the quarter switched. And then,
I mean, looking in the fourth quarter, you have, let's see, this is 3 and out. You have 3 and out, and you have the kneel downs.
And so good. I mean, yeah, that's not good, but I mean, the kneel downs are great, but
3 plays for 3 yards, 3 plays for 0 yards, 2 plays for -4 yards.
And I think that's just the defense deserves a lot of credit. They're definitely like a bend don't break type of defense, but they've definitely gone a lot.
They're going to break this weekend, that's for sure.
I don't know. I mean, we'll get back into that question.
That leads me to my next point here. So I wanted to ask you both the same question. First, how do the Jags win this game? And then second, how do the Jags lose this game?
All right, go ahead, Mike, since we're going to blow up and give...
I mean, how do they not...
Why do the Jags lose this game? We'll just
because they can't stop Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, Mike Williams. Sure, Mike Williams may be banged up. He may not play, fine. But you got to stop one of the top 5 running backs in the NFL, in Austin Eckler, not just in the running game, but pass catching.
Mm-hmm.
The man had over 100 receptions this year, which is unheard of for a running back. He had 107. So you got to deal with Eckler. You shut down Eckler, you have a good shot of winning. But I do believe Justin Herbert is going to torch our secondary. And, I mean, he's going to be fully healthy. The offensive line looks like it's healthy. And
yeah, but they've been inconsistent, allowing one of the highest pressure rates in the league down the stretch.
They have, but Justin Herbert, I mean, think about the defenses they've played recently. Well, only one good defense, really, in the last 5 weeks. Miami, Tennessee, Indianapolis, LA Rams, and Denver. Only Denver.
Yeah.
Rams aren't any good. Colts stink. Titans have a good run defense. And they only won that game by 3 points. And the Dolphins by 6. So they have not been good against good teams either. This year, they lost to Kansas City twice. They lost to Jacksonville, lost to Seattle, and they lost to San Francisco.
Just lost to Denver, too.
Yeah. Look for a lot of play action is what I'm going to say.
Well, the one against Denver I don't really count because they didn't play the full game. The starters.
I mean, yeah,
But they were losing when they were in.
Full the starters, yeah.
Yeah, that was Staley. Staley's a dumbass.
I thought it was funny. Someone mentioned that they sat the stars the whole preseason and then play them in a meaningless Week 18 game. Yeah.
That is kind of actually interesting. So why do you think the Jags lose, Skyler?
Well, I agree with Mike. If the Jags lose, it's going to be because of Herbert. But I think you're going to be playing a bunch of catch up. He mentioned Eckler, and I watched that preview on NFL.com. They do the game previews and stuff, and they mentioned how Jags defense is actually second in the league when it comes to stopping running backs catching out of the backfield, and also you mentioned how he's an elite running back, and I wouldn't disagree with that. But we just held Derrick Henry to 109 yards off of 30 carries.
And we almost lost the game.
Well, that's just,
literally we got lucky there.
Yeah, but you're talking
But we
about
really
Derrick
lost 'cause of
Henry,
the offense.
and you're talking Derrick Henry, though, one of the best running backs to be playing in the past decade, who's definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame. And they won the division back-to-back years because of Derrick Henry.
They were a
And
number one overall seed
last
year.
year. Exactly.
Wow, that's absurd. I still can't get over that.
And I mean, it's not
I
like
forgot.
it's not like Tannehill does anything. I mean, they had AJ Brown, but he was back and forth with injury. So it was all Derrick Henry last year, and to hold him to 109 yards, regardless if he's coming back of injury, I think that's got to be good because you're just going up against Eckler. Like, no disrespect to Eckler. Like I said, like we both said,
sounds like you're disrespecting
No,
him. Eckler is one of the best running backs
yeah,
in football.
I
I think
mean,
he's better than Derrick Henry personally because of the all-around aspect of the game.
all around athlete. He's a better athlete, sure, but when it comes to running the ball, there's no one better than Derrick Henry at like getting 8 yards, just bulldozing people. And
But again, if you're telling me to pick a running back I would rather face, it's Derrick Henry than it would be Eckler, just because of
That's
the
interesting.
dual threat ability of Eckler catching the ball out of the backfield. The Jaguars could not stop anything in the flat this past game against Titans. We saw the tight ends get open for multiple first downs, on fourth down specifically, and Eckler can do that and then cause more damage and go deeper downfield.
And I get that, but I also think the game plan was to keep everything in front of you. If Josh Dobbs is going to beat you over the top.
It wasn't over the top. It was to the sides.
Exactly, and he didn't beat us. Did he?
He almost did.
Almost doesn't freaking matter. Like, I just get over that. Like, the Chargers lost to the Broncos. In the 3 of their last 4 games, they've allowed 100 yards. And the only game they didn't allow 100 yards was to the Colts. That was a stat from John Shipley.
Well, the Colts suck. So.
The Chargers allow 5.6 rushing yards a carry on average. ETN averages 5.1 against every defense. And so if he's going to... He didn't play the full game last time. He had 45 yards in the last game. James Robinson was the feature back, and he had 100 yards and a touchdown there off of just 17 carries. So I think we're going to be running all over the field. That's how we're going to win the game, is by running all over the field with ETN. The ball is not going to be in the air much with Lawrence. It might be in the air a lot from Herbert, but it's going to be because they're trying to catch up. So, I mean, Eckler, they're not going to dump it off to Eckler if they're playing catch up. Eckler's not going to be a factor. I mean, if they get him going early and they get a lead early, but I think the defense has shown that they're not going to, I mean, granted, they did allow those dump offs and stuff. I get that, but the game plan was allow things to come to them and don't let anything burst. They allowed 1 touchdown to a tight end. I think tight ends might be a big issue if ever.
Your guy on Convo had the tutty.
Cheapong hit a Kongwo.
Yeah, and that's interesting. I like that. Wow, that's way more intricate than mine.
So wait, I'm confused. So how do we lose this game?
We lose the game if Herbert gets started early, but we also win the game if we run the ball well. And I think running the ball is going to become easier than them throwing the ball.
Okay, so that was
he
my
combined
transit.
his.
Yeah, he combined his. Okay, that's what I was going to say. If the Jaguars win the game, it's running it down their throats. The Chargers absolutely suck against the run.
Yeah.
I agree with Skyler there. However, I do want to see Trevor go deep on this secondary. Take some shots.
That's what I put up for mine. Deep passes.
Take some shots.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll be available with the play action.
Exactly, especially if you force the run. If you are able to run the ball against this Chargers defense, they'll have to commit someone in the box. That's when you take advantage of Derwin James in the secondary. Go over the top. Beat them.
And I mean, Bosa might be out too. I mean,
they're hit with injuries at the wrong time. Which again, we got lucky. We didn't get any injuries to end the year minus Cam Cam Robinson and
Ben Barch.
and Smoot, not Barch. Barch sucks.
And
Wow, that's rude.
Ross Mastic too.
Oh, he's hurt.
Oh, he's been hurt. He's had a back injury like
But
the second half of
I
the
thought
season.
he might have come back. I heard he was like coming back.
No,
this past game.
he's still playing. He's just
okay.
had a back injury the whole year.
Oh.
And Riley Patterson was hurt too.
We're talking players
He
out.
came back to practice today.
Yeah, he
though.
practiced full today.
Yeah.
But to answer your original question, Keith,
Mhm.
for the Jags to lose this game, it's because Justin Herbert's wheeling and dealing from the start. For the Jags to win this game, it is keep the ball out of Herbert's hands by running the ball down the Chargers' defense.
Just want to point out, though, it is Herbert's first playoff game. Like, this is technically Lawrence's first playoff game, but I think the Tennessee game was almost as close to a simulation, if not more, of what a playoff game would have been.
In
like,
his home stadium.
Yeah.
He's got the crowd behind him.
we have a whole week of rest versus they just played Sunday at 4.
Mhm.
They're coming to the East Coast on a Saturday, so there's not, they have one less day of
Yep.
rest. There's a lot of things going in our favor. But to say that will change the result, we'll see. But I just wanted to point that out. I think there's tons of stuff in our favor. I gave a good score for the last prediction, but I felt strong in that one moment. I sent the prediction. Otherwise, I felt like the last game was going to be close last time. But I don't know. I feel better about this matchup too. And versus I don't know. I think there's so much against weighing on the players about the Titans and divisional matchup that there's also more tension just built up from that.
Agreed. One thing that you guys, neither of you mentioned that I wanted to mention was just the Jaguars' turnover differential. Last year, minus 20, and we were last in the NFL.
Thanks, Urban Meyer.
Yeah. This season, we are plus 5, and we're tied for 7th in the NFL. If the Jaguars are able to force turnovers and reduce turnovers, if we don't see a Trevor fumble, did you know that Trevor has the most fumbles lost out of any quarterback in the NFL this year?
He had 4 in one game this year, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he leads the league with 9.
Did he get credit with that one to Agnew?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
And
Probably
that
did.
was like my point before last game is like that was how Tennessee was going to stay in the game. We turned it over stupidly.
9 fumbles, 8 picks.
17
Very,
turnovers.
very weird. Very weird. But he doesn't have the most fumbles, just
In
dropped.
general?
Yeah, I don't want to say lost because,
Yeah.
Justin Fields has the most fumbles, but he's only lost 3 of them.
Yeah.
Trevor's lost the most in 9, which is not good at all. But if the Jaguars are able to keep the ball and then force turnovers, I think they win this game.
I would
too.
say the difference between Fields' fumbles and Lawrence's fumbles is Lawrence fumbles in the pocket and everyone's down the field looking for the ball coming their way, and Fields is running with the ball and they're looking at Fields.
bouncing right back into his hands. Yeah,
He's lost 6 fumbles, not 8.
he's definitely lost more than that.
I'm pulling up a stats. It says 8 fumbles.
Where do you have it pulled up?
Well, you said
Yahoo.
4 in one game, and then there's 1 from the Jets game.
8 fumbles, 6 lost.
Okay, I paused it there and I went to Pro Football Reference.
Whatever.
I think the
there's
most
3 different
credible
sites.
one, and it says 9. So
There's 3 different sites. I don't care. Who gives a shit?
Well,
I went to
it could be
Wikipedia.
it could be like Skyler said. Did they credit Trevor with that one, the Agnew? It's like
Well, he was asking that.
whoever. But I mean, it just say fumbled,
Lost.
fumble lost right here.
Trevor has that fumble for Agnew.
Yeah. So
Because, Agnew
it's all
never
up
possessed it.
into interpretation, but that's just what it said on that. So anyway, forget that. That was all I wanted to talk about there. We'll do our predictions later. We're not going to force it anything right now. I will be a little out of pocket this weekend, but I will definitely try to make sure to get the post up so we can at least see what that looks like for everyone. I appreciate everyone that contributed. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. I don't know, a little acid reflux here. But I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that contributed to the last one. No one did get the score right, but that's okay. You can try it again this week. We'll do it again. Have some more fun with that. Also, if you're at the game, take some pics, tag us, because none of us are going to be there, right?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, no, I will not be able to go.
Okay, yeah.
Unless I'm a last-minute decision. We'll see.
Yeah, I will not either, but we will be cheering from home. Anyway, next up, I have my notes here, and I tucked them away. All right, who watched the entire Georgia-TCU game?
I watched till halftime.
I didn't watch a single bit.
I watched to the end of maybe the first. It was the most boring game I think I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah.
That was utterly stupid. I was really just disappointed. I mean, TCU didn't show up, which sucked.
They
I
showed up
liked
in the
TCU.
first quarter and then just got destroyed.
Sort
from
of.
It was
I
10
mean,
to 7.
It was
at one
10-7.
point.
Yeah, but even so, like their first drive was trash. They threw
It was
what's the
3-0.
quarterback's name?
Max Duggan.
Duggan threw a terrible pick. And then, yeah, the score was great, a nice little scramble, but Grandpa Stetson Bennett just destroyed them all. I do want him credit, hey, congrats to Georgia. Good for them, whatever. But to the people that are like, stop saying that Stetson Bennett's old. Chris Winkie was 29 when he won the Heisman. Chris Winkie played 6 years of minor league baseball before he even touched a football. So y'all could suck my butt for that. But I don't know about you guys. Well, probably Skyler for sure, since he's a Gator fan. I'm over Georgia. I'm over it.
I mean,
I was never under them.
Yeah. I'm done. The fans are getting a little out of hand, getting a little too cocky. I don't really agree with the coaching decision of going for it on 4th and whatever it was, and when you're up 45 or whatever. It's just a little like, okay, well, what are we doing here? And that's why I wanted to have a little bold prediction for next season. I think it might be a little emotionally based, but
Careful, they might use this against.
Probably will be emotionally based, but I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter anyway.
This is next year when they win the Natty, they'll be like, Keith, we
yeah,
will
hey,
have it.
you know what? They can say whatever they want. I'm just gonna say I don't think Georgia's gonna be in the college football championship game next year. They will not be in the championship game.
The championship. You can say playoff.
I'm not going to say the playoff because I think they should. Their schedule's easy enough. They should.
How about this?
That's not a bold
The
take.
SEC is going.
How about this? They
down.
won't. They won't.
They're
win
not
the
getting
SEC.
better.
Tennessee's on the rise, and South Carolina's a better team.
Tennessee's losing their quarterback, and
but their backup didn't look too bad.
It was okay. Who was the other guy? you
August
said?
going to the SEC championship regardless. They're not losing a game next year. Have you seen their schedule? It's
They-
a complete.
They got to play Tennessee and South Carolina.
It's a joke. UT
And
Martin,
they got to
Ball
play
State.
Florida.
UT Martin, Ball State, South Carolina, UAB at Auburn.
South Carolina's not bad. Don't throw South Carolina in there like they're a bad team.
It's in Georgia. It's in Georgia. So
It's
gonna
college
be-
football.
What's his name's returning too?
Ace Sanders.
Rattler.
Yeah.
Oh, have fun with that.
Spencer Rattler's returning.
Okay, UAB at Auburn. Okay, whatever. Kentucky at Vanderbilt. I don't see a loss yet. Florida, Georgia. Florida weekend. I don't see a loss. Missouri at home. Nope. Ole Miss at home. That could be interesting, but I highly doubt it. At Tennessee. Tennessee has no quarterback. And at Georgia Tech. Yeah, they haven't lost to Georgia Tech since I was born. Just kidding. I know they have.
I was
but-
like, wait, really?
No,
you
no.
knew that off the top of your head?
No, I know they've lost to Georgia Tech, but like
Yeah,
they're not
I get
losing.
what you mean.
They're
Yeah.
not losing a game next year. They're gonna go to the SEC championship. They're gonna play Bama or LSU, and they're gonna beat them, and they're gonna make the playoff.
And that's why I didn't say playoffs, so don't shit on me for that.
Well,
No, because that's not a bold take. They're not saying national championship.
That's why.
How is it not a bold take?
That's
Everyone
why my
thought,
bold take is better, where it's either Tennessee or South Carolina represent the East.
That is a bold take.
Wait, I gotta write that down. Say that one more time, just for the record.
Either Tennessee or South Carolina is going to be representing the East.
In 2023 season,
Yes. The very next college football playoff season, whatever.
I'll give you $100 if that happens. If one of them makes.
Do I don't have to give you anything.
No, you
All
can
right,
give me. How about
sweet.
this? You give me $1, and I give $100.
Heck yes. I will take that bet.
Tennessee or USC will represent the East
Correct.
in 2023-24 season. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well,
This is gonna be the easiest way to make $1.
Are you kidding me? There's people that stand outside on the street corner that make it easier.
Yeah, but people will drive by them every day. This is gonna be the easiest $1 I make in 8 months because. Oh, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, okay, fine. It wasn't that big of a bold prediction, but
I hope I get $100. That'd be fun.
I don't know if you guys have heard Georgia fans, but they're talking about three-peat already. So
I mean, to be fair, they don't look terrible. Their backups look insane as well.
no, they do, but I don't know.
Hey.
Like I said, I'm speaking with emotion.
So Georgia
annoyed.
has made 2 of the last.
Florida State will be in there.
Yes, they will.
All right. How also just for that bet thing? How about we add 49 other people? I give 49 other people $1 if they're willing to give me $100,
No, that's
so
not
I could have
happening.
5,000 at the end of this.
You'd have to find the people yourself. That would not be up to me.
Who
or
wants
Mike.
$1?
Anyway, yeah. I
You
mean,
really think Tennessee or South Carolina is going to make the SEC championship?
Yeah, why not? Because I mean,
I can name one big reason.
I mean,
Uga.
the quarterback for Tennessee is the big issue, but
Quarterback for South Carolina is a big issue as well.
he might
Spencer
be
Rattler
inconsistent.
sucks.
Yeah, but they just finished off the season beating 2 top 10 teams, and then they may have
One of them was Tennessee, though.
Yeah, I get that.
And Clemson also could be on the downfall.
Joe Milton.
They were
Milton,
up.
that's the guy we're talking about,
They were
right?
up huge on Tennessee prior to the quarterback's injury, though. So I wouldn't discredit their victory over Tennessee.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that dollar in September, October.
Joe Milton had 10 TDs and 0 interceptions, but yeah.
That's because 4 of them were against Clemson. 5 of them, maybe.
You're talking
3.
3, yeah. When Tennessee played
And the
Clemson.
Orange
And then
Bowl.
he played a little bit against Vanderbilt and a little bit.
Yeah,
he had TDs a little bit
You
against
see
South
how
Carolina.
weak that ACC conference is. Y'all's Orange Bowl representative.
To be fair, everyone in the ACC wanted at Florida State or Clemson.
Yeah, I don't care about the
get
ACC.
that,
Florida
I
State
guess.
won their bowl. That's all I care about.
Florida State won their bowl.
And Florida didn't go to a bowl, and that's
No.
all I
Oh,
care
we did.
about.
They did.
We lost big.
Oh wait, they did. Oh yeah, I forgot they scored 3 points.
They
I
went
forgot
to
about
they
them.
went to Vegas and
They scored
partied.
3 points in the last minute of the game to prevent a streak of scoring points in a bowl game from being
Shaka
snapped.
bra.
God, I love that Florida's struggling.
30-3. Yeah. Speaking of Florida, oh look, here's the stat music thing
I
was talking
didn't
about.
pick
Justin
them to win
Fields,
the East
16.
though.
Here's a little Gator stuff I wanted to touch on real quick. Jaden Rashada, as there's been some controversy about the truth of this statement or not, but supposedly it has been reported that he has requested release from his national letter of intent with Florida. Do you know who that is, Skyler?
Repeat that one more time. Sorry.
Jaden Rashada.
Okay, yeah, he flipped because the NIL had no money, right? Is that what I heard on the?
It's all speculation right now because we don't know officially. But for those of you that don't know, he's a 4-star quarterback that was supposed to be coming into Gainesville this year.
Mm-hmm.
He even stated at their bowl game or something that he was like, "Yeah, I'm excited to get to Gainesville. I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be lit." And then he has not been to Gainesville and has said things like, I don't know what's going on, and now apparently this has come to fruition. We don't really know, but the Gator quarterback room is not very pretty.
No, yeah, no, I'm not sure what's happening down there in terms of like recruits and players. And
Those
stuff. It's
NIL
like-
checks are bouncing.
Oh, yeah,
I feel like NIL, actually, never mind. I don't want to put a take on NIL. I don't get it enough to have a reasonable
What's
take.
your opinion?
I was gonna say maybe like you can't negotiate that kind of stuff till after you get to the school.
I think the NIL should be for current athletes in the school, not high school enrollees.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
that's basically what I mean. Yeah,
It's literally bogus that some of these kids are gonna get NIL money and they're not gonna really do anything with it. Like
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers got so much money to go to Ohio State and transferred 1 year later to go to Texas. Like what?
Hey, well, how about homeboy from Vine, the Popeyes kid got
Yeah, I
sponsored
saw
by
that.
Popeyes.
I saw that. So,
That
I
was
mean,
cool.
Look,
That's the cool side of it. You know, he's at a D2 school and he gets an NIL deal with Popeyes. That's pretty dope. But I get what you're saying, Mike, and I 100% agree.
But it's just it's because it's so new, and eventually there will be regulations for all of it. But I think it's absolutely hilarious that UF can't get a quarterback to come in because of NIL, and everyone was saying NIL program at UF was so strong, but they
With the
can't
Jordan brand and everything like that, it's like, oh, this is all going to be great. But instead, they get Graham Mertz.
I think it's funny too how it works for like Miami and Texas A&M as well. Like
Texas A&M is a joke, and they're about to fire. They can't fire Jimbo Fish. I can't even make
they
a
just
statement.
brought in what's his face,
Bobby Petrino,
Grandpa Petrino, man. He's-
motorcycle riding, wife stealing.
they should ride out out of the tunnel on a motorcycle like the Oregon Duck.
That would be bad. He is a bad person.
He
And that-
should
is
have
Jimbo.
Coach Oregon with a
Orgeron?
Orgeron, yeah, have him with another woman on the back of
Eddie
the
O.
motorcycle too.
Go Tigers.
That was a good one.
Yeah, so that's just with the Gators.
We're gonna beat the Tide, man.
with the Noles, I saw today that the big news is I don't care that we lose. What's his name? M, the receiver.
Malik McClain.
Malik McClain. I know it's an M. The big news is Jared Verse is coming back.
Yes, lot.
And we didn't talk about that last week because I think it came out like the day
It
after.
came out Saturday.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
day of the
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
It came-
That's right. I was so hyped that day. Yeah. So Jared Verse, a potential first-round draft pick
Projected
for
top-
this year,
Top 15.
is coming back to the Noles because he said my work here isn't finished.
I am going to bet Florida State to win the national championship next year.
Jeez.
As soon as those lines open, I'm going to make that bet.
You put some on J-Trav winning Heisman too?
If
or?
that's a possibility, yes.
There's already a website apparently to
Florida State.
promote it.
They're really promoting that.
Which is good. I think it's good for the program. For a team that was, when signing players the last couple years, it was, hey, man, you're basically guaranteed a starting spot because this team is so bad. Now it's to the point where we can actually start turning people away. And because we have so many people coming back. And that's something that is really nice to see. We are the king of the transfer portal. I don't think there's any team that even there might be, but in my opinion, there isn't a team that comes even close to us using the transfer portal.
I bet you the Gators have the most transfer outs.
So
they were they were in the top 3 last
Jackson
I checked.
State.
Yeah,
There you
Jackson
go.
State was up there. And
Booyah. See, we know how to use the transfer portal.
transfer outs, not transfer ins.
Yeah, no.
that's what he said.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think that's something you want to be proud of.
But hey, he said use the transfer portal. He didn't say negatively or positively. All right.
I'm actually kind of curious now. Let's see. Transfer portal tracker.
By the way, so you're telling? I mean, it depends on the site and the sports book. I'm seeing odds for Florida State to win the national championship plus 1,800. I've seen plus 2,500, plus 3,000, plus 2,000. It depends on the book you're at. So they're definitely not top 5. I can see that. It's Georgia, Ohio State, Bama, Michigan, and USC are the top 5.
Yeah.
Next
South Carolina, my pick.
South Carolina isn't even in the top 25. So, there they are at plus 20,000.
Boom.
Here we go.
So you can take that $100. Oh, you can't. You got to do it before the season. So
Well, when they're in the SEC championship, they might have some odds.
yeah,
How about this? You put that 100 towards it.
no, I'm not going to pay you $100 before the season. No.
You guys are stupid. I will say I did just while I was scrolling, I saw Trayshawn Ward is going to Kansas State.
Saw that replacing.
How
Deuce
about
Vaughn.
how about you give me the $100 early and I'll pay you back that $1 later.
Here we go. Skyler, the number 2 team. Florida is tied with Arkansas with the most transfer outs.
Arkansas,
Number 1
man.
is Texas A&M.
Good old Jimbo.
So SEC, top 3 right
SEC,
there. And then
SEC.
Arizona with 20, Jackson State with 18, Miami
who's
with
tied
18.
with who's tied with Jackson State?
Is
Miami.
Arizona State up there?
They're at the bottom of this list, yes. Tied at 16 with Oregon, Ole Miss, and Cal, and then with 17, Stanford. So this was as of January 3rd. So there could be more, there could be more. But I just think that's kind of funny. Texas A&M sitting on top of that disgusting
That's
throne.
because Jimbo sucks and they can't fire him because he's getting paid $1 billion to stay there for the next 10 years.
Exactly. Well, let's say we wrap things up here,
Idiots.
boys. Shall we? We got a big game this weekend. That's going to be everyone's main focus. But I really wanted to touch on something that I missed from apparently last October. The 7-time ABA champion Jacksonville Giants, the winningest franchise in the ABA's history, is not going to be participating in the ABA for the 2022-23 season. I know it doesn't matter, but I just thought that was kind of weird. They're the most successful team in this league's history, and they are, quote, using this time to focus on the organization's future and the 2023-24 season.
Bro, just put him in the G League.
I mean, they could be, but no, those guys are scrubs.
They're not. They'd get smoked every night.
Winningest franchise in ABA history with 12 consecutive Final Four appearances, 9 championship appearances, and 7 championship victories. That's pretty dope.
I never saw a game of theirs.
I haven't either. I remember us talking about them on the podcast when we first started it, saying, "Yeah, we should go to a game. We could be the official podcast of the Giants or something."
We'd be out of business.
Hell no.
I went to a Jacksonville Jam game.
Nah.
You went to a Giants game?
A Jacksonville Jam game.
Oh,
when I was back at UNF.
I remember
and
the Jam.
I think Dan Hicken was on the team for a little bit.
Oh God, that tells you how much of a joke that was. I just thought that was a little interesting little tidbit there to end on, and congrats to Josh Allen for being named AFC Player of the Month. Week. Yeah, week.
But by the way, I listened back to the podcast. I did say 3 players would ball out against the Titans. Granted, I did also predict the 50 burger, which did not 50 points wasn't even scored. I did say Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker would step up, and they did against the Titans.
Agreed.
So, and also the Chase on would have a sack, but Chase on was non-existent as usual.
Oh yeah, well I think I forced you into saying that one.
Yeah, that one was
So it's
whatever.
okay. But yep, no, that about wraps things up. Episode 85 is brought to you by Nerdy Nuts. I have just purchased another jar of Nerdy Nuts because I am an addict. I actually don't even remember. Oh, the chocolate cake batter, I think, is the one I just purchased. I only say I think because I am not sure if that's the name, but it is chocolate cake. And it looks delicious. Chocolate peanut butter, great combination. Thank you to Nerdy Nuts for always being there for us. If you haven't bought a jar already, get on it and use our code DIMES10 to get 10% off your purchase. For Skyler Chase to my left and for Mike Yazji to my right, I am Keith Manzi, signing off on another episode of Dimes on Duval, and we'll catch you next time.
Isaiah Foskey, Edge, Notre Dame.